Today, I'm going to do a little Twitter analysis on this individual right here. Now, you don't know who this is. I didn't know who this was until I got tagged in the post by the Resistance on Twitter. And this is going to put some things into perspective for me. Now, if y'all know already, I've already done a live stream on this channel about Joe Rogan. I did a video talking, giving a little breakdown of that N word and why it's just, a word that PC should not be using, and basically go around and debunk every talking point that they possibly could come up with when it comes to the usage of that word. But now we're going to see it being put to use by someone who is not Joe Rogan or pretty much anyone who's not famous, but they're probably famous now because this tweet literally made its rounds. Now, as you all know, this past Sunday, there was, of course, the Super Bowl, and the halftime performances were mainly black, with the exception of Eminem. Everyone else was black. And you have this individual right here who felt some type of way that there was some black performers performing during that particular show. And this guy's name on Twitter, because I don't know his real name, is Truth Hurts. It's spelled TROOFHURTZ. And he put up this very interesting tweet that he managed. It was two tweets. One of them he mentioned NFL in it, and the other one did not. But both of them were very trifling and very racist as hell. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up those tweets. So here it is right here. I'm not censoring a thing when it comes to what he said. Now, of course, the time looks different. It says 56 minutes ago. That's because he put it out on Sunday, the day of the Super Bowl, which, of course, was the 13th. And this was two tweets that he put. Now, this is not a doctored image. He put this out here from a real account. And I don't know if his account is still up or not, but it definitely was up long enough for people to get these screenshots. Because like I said, whatever you put out on the internet is forever. So this is his account. And it says, sad that at the NFL has degraded to nigger crap. At NFL has lost its mind. So he did mention them twice. Forgive me for the part when I said he didn't mention them more than once, but he did. But he made sure to tag the NFL in there as if they were going to do something about it to ease his mind or to ease his level of peace and sanity, if you want to call it that. He said that sad that the NFL has degraded to nigger crap. That's what he put. And he typed this out. This was not out of context. I got a question to Joe Rogan and all, especially more so his supporters than anything. Was this taken out of context? Since, apparently since he said it was taken out of context when he said it, I got to ask you, if this guy right here was to say this was taken out of context, would you agree with him? I mean, you might as well say you go ahead and do it because you agree with Joe Rogan when he said it. Or when he said the Planet of the Apes comments, which was just as bad, if not worse. I just got to ask. He said degraded to nigger crap. Basically, he's saying black people are like so low on the totem pole, we're practically in the dirt that's holding the totem pole up. And he was talking about the halftime show. He did not like it that it was mainly black performers performing on that show, that's what he decided to call it. Then went on to say at NFL has lost its mind. Like, how dare you have black performers? My thing is this. The halftime show has had black performers perform on that stage for many, many, many years. But this is the first time that they've had an all mainly hip hop lineup. Like, this was a first for them. This was a mainly hip hop lineup. I know people say Mary J was in there. She did R&B, but the thing is, she has a title which is the queen of hip hop and R&B. So hip hop is in there for her. She has done some rapping on some of her songs. She's just not a hip hop artist. She's mainly R&B, but she's worked with hip hop artists, has had songs produced by hip hop artists, and she has done some rapping on some of her songs, preferably more so her older material. Like if you go back and listen to her first album, which was What's the 411, you'll hear her rapping on some of her songs. As a matter of fact, you'll find a lot of R&B artists from back in the 90s did some rapping on some of their own songs. But that was just the style back then to incorporate their own, rapping in some of their music, especially back in the early 90s. So it's not new that R&B artists do that, and especially not today. But yeah, he felt some type of way, and he put that out there, and he made his presence be known. But look at all the traction he got. 1,690 comments, 7,241 retweets, 1,313 likes. And I'm sure everybody in here was grilling his ass. Everybody. From all walks of life, not just black people, but everybody. And this one had 95 comments. This one had 107 retweets and 184 likes. He sure did go viral. And he had no shame in what he said. But I'm going to show you something that's even more interesting. Keep in mind this part, this first tweet right here. So this is a screenshot of his header on Twitter. So you see it has his profile picture, his name, and his @name on there. But listen to this. Former radio host and exec back in East Tennessee from DFW, or Dallas Fort Worth. Love my Braves since 1966. At Mavs, at the Mavericks, the Panthers, VOLS, I'm not sure what that is, and Jazz Music Baby. Now this guy said that the NFL has degraded to this nigger crap. And we know that the halftime show was mainly hip hop for the most part. But he said he loves jazz music. PC, you little cum stain. Where did you think jazz music came from? Oh, that's right. It's the same it came from the same place that you told the NFL was sad and has lost their mind, that they degraded down to nigger crap. It came from that same place. So by your logic and by your header and your bio, you must be in love with the quote unquote nigger crap. Apparently. People was leaving comments saying, should we tell him or not? But see, the thing is, they have stolen, let's be real, so much of our stuff over the years that they think that it's theirs. And you know what's so crazy? This doesn't surprise me coming from someone who's of his age. Because look at it, he says since 1966. So he's definitely from that time period. And he said from 1966, so he's definitely older than 1966. Because I'm looking at, I can't really tell or gauge how old he is. But if you remember back when hip hop was really starting to take shape, a lot of people like himself probably even said it back then, along with the rest of his ilk, called it nigga music. That was the nickname they gave it, was nigga music, until they could find a way to capitalize on that nigga music. And then it became art. It became American. It becomes American when it comes from us, when they can profit and use it and twist it and bastardize it into the image that they want it to be. If they can't do it, then it'll always be what he called it, nigger crap. But the people went in on him, and rightfully so. But like I said, I'm doing this video because when it goes back to the Joe Rogan thing, he said in his little so-called apology video that it was taken out of context, when we know it wasn't. I got a question. Like I said before, anyone who said or agreed with Joe Rogan and said that what he said was taken out of context, they need to have the same energy for this guy if he was to come out and say that this was taken out of context, because we know that it wasn't. We know that it wasn't. And he knows it wasn't either. He took the time to get on Twitter, whether he typed it out on his phone or on a computer or an iPad or whatever he uses to communicate on this app, and type two tweets and send both of them out there. Did he actually think nobody was going to clap back at him for saying that? And these are the same people, and some of them Joe Rogan sycophants and supporters, who tell us that we need to get over the usage of that word. The same people. Oh, it's just the word. No, it is not just a word. If this guy said this about any other group, he would have been ran off of Twitter, because as far as I know, his account is still active. I could be wrong. It might be suspended. It could be suspended. I'm not sure. I will say this though, this guy had enough balls to type this word out, unlike Sad God, who I did a video on last week talking about like censoring himself. But this guy had more balls to type that. But like I said, we appreciate the overt ones. We don't like the racist individuals who we have to try to figure out what's their agenda. We already can see what Mr. Truth Hurts feels like over here. So thank you. In that aspect, we thank you. But as far as we are concerned, Truth Hurts, you can take you and your raggedy ass 1960s, 50s, 40s mindset and go take a trip down to the lower room and twerk on Lucifer in the lower basement for all eternity. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Make sure that you hit that bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video or go live.